Welcome everybody to the second episode of the Mas Metal monologue, and I apologize that I have not done more of these segments. This is only our second one, but I really haven't felt compelled to speak about something interesting and cool for all the people out there who watch our program. But the day has finally arrived. Really a day that I've been waiting for a long time, and I don't have to tell all the metallic thrashers out there how important the memory of Cliff Burton is. Now today I'm not going to rehash the greatness of Cliff Burton. We all know who he is. We all know about Anesthesia, Pulling Teeth, and Orion, and how great of a musician he was, and how so many bass players have tried to emulate him, but none are quite like him, just like the statue I'm going to share for you today. Now, before I get to the unboxing, let me just share a little bit with you, about my frustration, because like I said, I've been waiting for this statue for a long time, and it was first announced last summer in July by Rock Icons, the statue made by Knucklebones. And so right away, I'm sure a lot of fans went out there and ordered their statue from Cliff Burton and pre-ordered, because as you may know from my previous unboxing of the James Hetfield statue, that there's only a limited number of quantities that are made for the entire world, and that number usually runs around 3,000. So you get one. If you don't, you're left out, and you're gonna have to pay enormous prices online on the black market to get your statue. So right away, I went ahead and ordered mine because, of course, as many of you know, I'm a huge Metallica fan and always have been since my childhood. And I've been waiting since last July to get this box right here. And it finally arrived yesterday. I knew that it was the Cliff Burton because I had seen online that other people had received their statues already. So as you can see here, this box has not been opened, and I wanted to share with all of our followers the elation you're gonna see on my face when I take this statue out and talk about it and recognize all the beautiful features that went into making this statue. So let's go ahead and cut to the chase, all right? One of the things I always really like about what Rock Icons does with their statues is they always have a really cool box too for the statue. Now I have many statues. I showed them off in my last video. Back then, Mas Metal Monologue was called Metal Musings, and when I unveiled the James Hetfield statue, I showed my dime bags. I have a couple of dime bags. I have a Zakk Wylde statue. I got the James Hetfield statue. I got the Robert Trujillo statue. All of them really beautiful pieces of work. So let's take this one out, because I have a feeling that this one is going to be the highlight of my collection. Alrighty, let's take this stuff out. Okay. Here we go. And there it is. The box, as you can see, is a lot smaller than the other boxes that I've received my statues in. That's for sure. And of course, you know, it wouldn't be a shipping from FedEx if there wasn't a little bit of damage. They damaged my fucking box. Thanks a lot, FedEx. But you know what? I'll take it, because I know my statue is not damaged. You'll see that also really cool. They have the Burton logo in the Metallica font, which is super cool. And here in the back, you'll see that there's a small bio that they include. I think that's always cool for all the young fans who really don't know the history of a particular artist. So, you know, it talks a little bit about his birth in 1962. As many of you know, he died when he was 24 years old, and he passed on September 27th, 1986 from a bus accident in Sweden. And you know what? I'll share this really quick, and I thought about whether I wanted to mention this in this video. But I remember the night that Cliff Burton passed. And back then I was about 15 or 16 years old. And of course, my mom and I were living together in a very small apartment on barely the west side of San Antonio. And I remember I was already asleep. I was in bed, asleep. It was dark. And my mom comes into the room, turns on the light, and she shakes me. She says, mijo, wake up. They're talking about Metallica on the radio. And we had 99.5 Kiss blaring in our house all the time. So she was listening to the radio, and she said someone died. So when I turned on the radio, of course, they were talking about Cliff, and of course, preliminarily talking about just a bus accident that had happened and that he had passed away. And of course, they played a strew of Metallica songs. But I remember that night distinctly. I'll never forget it. And it was a night that, obviously changed not only our lives, but changed the metal world, and more importantly, changed the future of what Metallica would become. And I often think what Metallica would have become if Cliff would have lived. Things to ponder, on a heavy metal night. But anyway, let's open this beautiful box. It says Cliff 'em all. I watch that video all the time. So let's open it up. The infamous black foam. I'm not sure why they always use black foam, but let's get this out. Okay, I finally got it out of the box. As you can see, Knuckle Bones really takes great care in packaging these statues. Obviously, how would you feel if you opened a statue and it was broken? But I know that he's tightly wound in here. You can see that there's 3 components to the foam. And we'll see if I have them upside down or not. Okay. I kind of do. And there he is. Very, very cool. Let me pull him out here. Be very careful. And there he is. Super fucking cool. I'm gonna talk about it. And I like how authentic that they make these statues. Now the base, which also is something to really admire, is right here. Very careful. And there it is. There is the base. Now what I really like about it too is, again, they have the Burton and the Metallica font. It says Cliff 'em all, as we all know. Some skulls around the base. Obviously, Cliff Burton loves skulls. He always used to see him wear that Misfits t-shirt, which he's wearing in the statue. And there's a very cool kind of beat up monitor here. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I think his foot goes right here. So if we put him, the statue itself comes with a kind of head here on his foot, which goes right into the hole of the statue. And what I always do with my statues is I put a little bit of glue in the hole so that, somebody who comes into my studio doesn't grab him and pull him out like that. So the statue and the base all become one piece. Now let me raise this up a little bit so that you can have a better look at it. I'm shooting this myself today. I don't have my camera people here. I didn't want to bother them on a Saturday, but as you can see, what a beautiful beautiful fucking statue. Now, let me see. I was remiss not to see what number mine is. So my number, you'll see on the bottom here, like I mentioned earlier, but that is the number of statues. In six, there was 3,000, as I mentioned earlier, and mine is number 167. 167 of 3,000 in the entire world. Now, I like this statue for many reasons. First of all, it is sculpted from obviously a photograph of Cliff Burton. We have many photographs of Cliff with his foot on the monitor. His signature bell bottoms are there, and also his signature ring right there, his signature skull rings. He is wearing his Misfit shirt, and as some of you and many of you may know, he was an avid performer and really got into it, man. So I like how he's like, into it, and he's jamming. And now the most important thing, the most difficult thing for me with regards to this statue is where I'm going to put him in this place. I'm almost running out of room here, and some would say I ran out of room a long time ago. But I'm going to find a spot, and it's going to be a very significant spot where I can see him every day, because again, the legacy of Cliff Burton goes far beyond his bass playing. I think many of us also true fans know just the amount of integrity that Cliff had with regards to heavy music and his playing. You know, he was a no frills kind of guy. I mean, nobody in the thrash scene was wearing fucking bell bottoms, but Cliff didn't give a fuck, man. He just cared about playing bass and being a great musician. And there is no doubt that in the history of Metallica, he took them to the next level. Again, who knows what would have happened if Cliff had never joined Metallica, right? Who knows? But anyway, I'm so happy to be able to share with you my love of this statue. And it's going to provide a lot of great conversations in the Metalworks when people come to visit me and they see it. Thank you, rock icons, for making a Cliff Burton statue and commemorating his life for all the true metal maniacs in the world. Thank you, everybody, for watching today. I hope to do more Mas Metal monologues as the time arises. You know, I like to talk about cool stuff and things that I like. So, you know, hopefully I'll be inspired again to do another one of these. But I love to share with our viewers about things that make me happy in my little metal world. Thank you, everybody, for watching. This is Rob Metalworks. Have a great day and a great weekend.